chance of getting someone not terrible.
You got time for that also. All right, here we go. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of News Report number 34. Josh, I just keep going up and up and up. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Ready to play some League of Legends again.
Woo! Oh yeah, League of Legends ARAMs. They are new, they're hot, ranked ARAMs. It's kind of like, I guess, comparable to Mid Wars and Heroes of Newerth. It's a little more casual, a little more fun, a little shorter. But
Yeah, it definitely is.
Still those tryhards out there that want to be #1 in ARAM.
Yeah, eventually, because you do have like a hidden rating, kind of. So you will play better people if you are good. And
why do they do the hidden rating? Is it just to keep it more casual so people don't feel bad that their rating's not as good as they want it to be?
I think it's definitely that reason, because a lot of people are just playing for casual reasons, of course. It's kind of like a goofy mode.
Just for funsies.
Just
I know.
for fun.
I'm scared. What if I get a hero I can't play?
Then you learn how to play them.
Then you learn how to play them. That's a good thing about ARAMs, I guess, right? You get to, kind of like Dominion, you get to try some new heroes, see what they're like, champions, if you will.
Yeah, and that's why I like it, because when I play ranked games, I have like a strict hero pool of like 4 heroes max that I play. And I don't know, it works because I'm really good at those heroes and I need to win games when I play ranked. But like, it's cool to find out what other heroes do, and
yeah, it's helpful. The first time I laid against Zed, it was bad bombing. I didn't know what the fuck he did. He just started throwing shit, and I died.
Yeah, I still don't know what he does, but he's pretty powerful.
No leg gusta. So, all right, before we queue up here, how long are the queues? Are they pretty quick? Are they like instant?
Oh, they're pretty fast, yeah.
All right. So before we queue up, let's just glance over the market here. We were just talking in our little pre-show, record-setting numbers again at the S&P 500. Josh, 1633 is where we closed on Friday, and that graph is looking pretty nice. Nice little rally at the end of the day on Friday too.
Yeah, the market's definitely gone into crazy mode where it's just been going up and up each day. I think in the past, this week, we had one day, Thursday, we pulled back just a little bit. But then Friday, we're right back at it, attacking all-time highs and closing just under them.
Yeah, that Friday graph, what happened at the end of the day, man? Everybody was feeling good, and all of a sudden we jumped up like, like 5 points in about 30 minutes right at close.
Yeah, it's what you call an end-of-day rally, where the stock market just goes up at the end of the day because everyone's buying, trying to get their orders in before the weekend.
Yeah, and just to interrupt, I see somebody in chat asking what S&P. The S&P 500 it's the 500 most actively traded stocks in. Is it in the American market?
It's in the U.S.
In the U.S. So the 500, so it's not necessarily the 500 most valuable, but the 500 most traded stocks. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's so. But the S&P 500 index, it's a pretty good indicator overall of how the market's doing. If the S&P 500 is up, the market in general is usually up. If you look at some of the other indexes, like looking at what's the other one is like
there's the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq.
The Dow Jones. So what is the Dow Jones? What does that represent?
Dow Jones is it's technically the Dow Jones 30 Industrial is what the Dow Jones is. So the Dow Jones is just 30 stocks, and they're pretty old stocks in general. They're like your Exxon,
General
your
Electric,
DuPont, your General Electric, probably Ford. They're all stocks you would have, companies you would have heard of here in America.
The stuff your
they're pretty big.
own.
Yeah, they're called like the grandparent stocks, where they've been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
The big thing is the Dow Jones is only 30 stocks, so kind of like if one really dragged down or one had a bad earnings report, it has the potential to really impact the index. The S&P is 500 stocks. You got a lot more stocks, so one weak one doesn't necessarily drag down the whole index.
Right, and then the Nasdaq, of course, is mostly tech stocks, your Zyngas, your Facebooks, your Googles, your Apples, all that. So, although some of those, is Apple New York Stock Exchange? Now that I'm thinking about it,
I think some of these are on multiple exchanges.
They're on multiple exchanges
because they're like composite indexes.
Okay, right. So now, yeah, here's the Nasdaq composite. So Nasdaq is Is there any real value to looking at NASDAQ? It's just a good play on how tech-related stocks are doing. Is that really the only value of the NASDAQ?
Yeah, so like when you see the Nasdaq going up, it means more people are putting money into tech related um, industries and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
like right now, the big money has been going into the like old grandpa stocks. So you said like the safe stocks that have like dividends,
Mm-hmm.
and they've just been posting good earned reports to deserve those boosts up and everything. Like the Nasdaq is more tech stocks, so I know the Nasdaq is heavily weighted on Apple, which has had a very bad performance this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were at like 700. I think now I know they had a huge bounce of 400.
Woo.
But yeah, so I know the Apple makes up a huge part of the Nasdaq.
Yeah.
So if Apple does bad, the Nasdaq will do bad, and Apple's nowhere near all-time highs.
Yeah,
Um,
certainly not. Their 52-week range is 385 to 705, and right now they're at 450, so they're definitely not where they were. If you scroll that graph back, cheese and crackers. Looks like they're starting to rally a little bit, Josh, but ugh.
yeah, it's definitely the Nasdaq. When you see that going up, it's people are taking more risk, it's perceived, because they're starting to invest in tech, which is kind of shaky at the moment because the
Mhm.
model for tech industries isn't really developed since smartphones and everything and tablets, they just came out in the past couple of years. They
Right.
haven't had time to like really develop and monetize their ad
And
revenues and everything.
and when did Steve Jobs actually die? Just relative to this graph, was it
I
middle of
I, I know
2012?
it was in the fall. I think it was um I think it was around 4 or 500 in the fall of
October
2 years
5th,
ago.
2011.
Yeah.
So let's see here,
The stock
2011.
went up from when he died.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's what I was trying to look up there. Yeah, it kind of went woo. So I
Yeah,
guess
it
that
definitely.
was the last of the Steve Jobs products, and now that he's gone and there are no more good Steve Jobs ideas, and they're just making slightly smaller, different dimensions versions of iPads and iPhones. Now, I guess people have lost hope in the innovative power of Apple until the iWatch or the what is it? What was it? Was it the iTV? What the hell's the Apple
Yeah,
TV
their
called?
TV and their watch. Yeah, a big part of that too is they posted not so good earnings reports compared to their previous earnings reports since Tim Cook has been the CEO. And so that helped I don't know, hasten their decline from record highs.
You know,
So
we should look at we should make a thing for gaming stocks. I know Activision Blizzard is public. I don't think Riot is public, are they?
I don't believe so unless they're under some other thing. Yeah, Activision Blizzard have posted their
Yeah.
earnings report this week. They posted WoW lost another like 1.6 million subscribers, I think, was the
Wow.
number. I'm not sure how the stock did though in general Activision. I think it actually went up.
I pulled it up.
Yeah,
Well, on Wednesday there was a huge drop. I guess that's the news or the earnings report was on Wednesday probably. So there's a huge drop and then it kind of rallied back up again. So
yeah, it had a
it's
huge bounce.
yeah, it's kind of whoops. It's kind of back to where it started. Let's actually go scroll back a little bit and look at the history of the Blizzard Activision stock. This is not a stock that I've paid much attention to. Now, of course, a lot of this stock here is Activision. Blizzard was not public on the American stock market for a long time. I guess until they merged with Activision. Is that
Yeah, and
correct?
Activision, this stock also includes Call of Duty, I believe.
Right, right.
Um, and they own a couple other things too. A lot of the big
I
games
think
that.
Guitar Hero or Rock Band. One of those is Activision as well, and I can't remember which one. Maybe both. Shit, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, do you know when that merge? Do you remember when that merger was? What year that was?
I have no clue. It was a long time ago, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. So that's an interesting. That's a stock I need to add to my portfolio here because it's one that is at least relevant to some of the stuff that we talk about. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
alas, Riot is not public. What a bummer.
not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. It's
Probably
coming.
will. Well, no, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where most companies go public for that huge influx of capital to move to the next. They use it as it's a financing strategy, and actually, it's considered an exit strategy in a lot of business in terms of business models, it's towards the end of the business life cycle in a lot of cases, unless you're a tech startup or something different. So Blizzard being not Blizzard, Riot being the cash cow that they are, they don't have much motivation to go public, because it's really just going to make it so everyone can see their numbers. They're going to have to answer to a whole new demographic of stakeholders, and they're going to just get a big lump sum of money that they don't need. I don't know. It seems like a lot of headache for not much in return.
Yeah, that is definitely the problems with going public, is you now have to answer to all your investors, and
Right.
they come first, and now you have a whole bunch of people that can potentially be angry at you.
Oh, fuck yeah, I got Darius.
Dude, I got Jace. I only got 4 talent points.
Let's see. I want to go AP. No, I want to go AD. What am I saying? Okay, here we go. What summoner skills do you get in this? Ignite Flash? Is that normal?
Flash and Barrier.
Flash and Barrier. Okay.
Yeah, which I don't have either of them. I gotta be level 6 to get Barrier.
So what do we have here? Darius, Nunu, Jace, Taric, and Kag'Ma. Woo! Oh boy.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun indeed. And I see someone else asking in chat, forgive my ignorance, but what do stocks mean anyway? Josh, do you have a very clear and concise answer to that question?
I guess stocks make up the stock market, and to me, and I'm saying that because to me, the stock market is like the ultimate form of capitalism. And capitalism drives everything nowadays. Everything includes all the companies, and it's basically, I think, in a large part, it runs the world we live in today. It's all dictated by the money and everything.
Well, although that is a true statement, not particularly descriptive. Basically, a stock is a percentage ownership in a company. At a certain point, a company will say, all right, we want to go public, and that means they're going to do what's called an IPO, initial public offering, where Facebook just did it, for example. That's when you hear a company, they're going public, they allocate a certain portion of their company. I don't know what the normal percentage of the equity that they allocate is normally. I have no idea what Facebook's was. Which would have made this example a little more meaningful. Let's just say 10% for the sake of this argument. So they take 10% of their company, you do all sorts of math and figure out what the company's worth. If you say this company's worth $1 billion, then that 10% stock is worth $100 million, and then you do all sorts of other financial calculations and figure out what each individual stock is worth and how many stocks you want to put out. And then you open them up, and people like us decide, hey, you know what, I want to own some of Facebook. And then you buy the stock, and then the value of that stock price is based on the valuation of the company, which fluctuates based on what the company is doing, as well as relative to what the demand is for those shares. So if Facebook does something really great, let's say Facebook releases a set of mobile phones with a special Facebook operating system, which they very well may do in the near future, and everyone thinks it's going well, and people are like, wow, I want to get on board, I want to invest in Facebook because I think it's going to end up making a lot more money in a couple years, then you can buy some of that stock, and if a lot more people want to buy the stock, the demand goes up, hence the price of the stocks go up. So if you buy those stocks before the value goes up, then the price of your stocks go up even though you bought them before. So let's say you buy Facebook right when it comes out at $20 a share. They release their smartphones. 3 years later, those shares are worth $40 a piece. You just doubled your money. So it's basically just a very small percentage ownership of Facebook. You own like 0.0001% of Facebook, and you get your value of that percentage variates accordingly based on how much Facebook's worth. Was that pretty good, Josh? Was that spot on?
Yeah. Explain how stocks work. Yeah, and it's a big part because I think everyone has a retirement plan eventually, and stocks play a very large role in your life, whether you know it or not. Kind of like the background thing. So it's one of the things that I like to know, and I actually day trade a bit. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I see someone else. The stocks don't. Well, some stocks have dividends, which is, and I guess usually utility stocks are the ones known for always paying dividends, right? Are those the safe ones?
Basically, a dividend is it's basically when a company isn't growing much anymore and not reinvesting in itself, and turns out a dividend, which is basically just giving money it earns back to its
Right.
investors.
Well, the question was, so you double your money after you sell, or is there some sort of revenue along the way? And the answer is really, it depends. In some cases, a company can choose to pay dividends. They don't have to. And with that, like I said, utility companies are generally ones that do pay dividends. Most companies do not pay dividends. The value of the stock going up is enough. So no, you don't make anything until you decide to sell the stock. In most cases, and usually the dividends aren't. I mean, to make enough money off the dividends to like be able to live, you need to own a shit ton of that stock.
Yeah, it's kind of it gets really iffy because you get into a lot of different kinds of stocks. Like there are, so it's kind of actually beneficial to do dividends for a company, and this gets really into financials of the whole thing because they get tax deductions for having dividends because they're returning income they earned, technically. So there is something called an REIT, which you can actually earn like 16% dividends on a year, which is really high if you know anything about dividend returns. Because even though they're like, you mentioned utilities as a form of companies that give dividends, Microsoft gives a dividend, Apple's giving $100 billion worth of dividends to their investors.
Wow. Yeah, I know Apple is one, and also Bank of America is one of the stocks that I own. That
banks always want to do dividends because that's a big way that they can save money by deducting from their taxes. So it's one of those things where basically when you stop growing at a really fast rate, you're supposed to like kind of give a dividend to give people a reason to buy your stock.
Yeah,
essentially.
That makes a lot of sense. So, that's a pretty good breakdown of how stocks work and what they are. And then, so there's different variations of sort of investing. There are some people that kind of invest for the long haul. Like, generally speaking, the market goes up over time. So, a good example is like in my family, when all of the grandkids were born, my grandparents put X amount of money, whatever, a couple grand into the stock market, just diversified amongst mutual funds and all sorts of other stuff. And over time, if you don't touch that money for 15, 20 years, the market tends to go up. If you look at the history of the market with inflation, everything just goes upward. So you can invest in the market in the long haul in really diversified funds and end up making a higher return, certainly than you would keeping that money in the bank, especially at modern day interest rates or in CDs or anything. Or you can be like Josh and be a day trader, where Josh trades. What do you have to do? Make 10 trades a day each way or something?
I've been making more and more each day as I learn. It's definitely a very, very crazy thing to do. I think it'd be really hard for me to explain. I actually probably have to show you.
Right. No, just
make a video. But yeah, you basically just trade stocks. You basically just trade any other stock. I traded Tesla, to give you an example, on Friday, which is a pretty big stock. I think it's like trades at like $70. It was at $75 a share on Friday, and in that range. But yeah, I've traded Bank of America, which is one of the biggest, biggest banking stocks in the U.S. But yeah, to give you an idea, you basically trade anything that's moving, basically, is what I look at.
Yeah, Bank of America is a weird stock. Frustrating for me a little bit. I think I own 100 shares of Bank of America, and I actually didn't buy it. It was gifted to me, so it's not too bad. But Bank of America is one that paid pretty solid dividends, and they cut their dividends from down to $0.01 a share. And I don't know. I was happy with Bank of America. Every quarter you get a nice like $75 check in the mail. Now I get like 75 cents.
Yeah, well, they had to do that. That was the whole banking crisis that happened.
Yeah.
The U.S. actually prohibited all banking stocks from giving a dividend until they could pass the stress test.
You can't run back and heal on this, can you?
No, you can't.
So you just have to sit here like a goon if you're low health?
Yeah, you kind of should die. Kind of. There are healing things right there. The Cogmol just took one. But yeah, it's kind of actually not a good strategy to live as long as you can, because you can't shop either until you die. So right now I'm gonna kill this guy.
Asking for it, dude.
There we go. But yeah, the whole financial market is actually extremely, extremely complex, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a real-time video game that you can actually make a lot of money in. Um, yeah,
Oh
because like
shit, no,
I
no,
use both my monitors when I trade. I have 3 monitors. I use 2 of them, and the third one I use as more of a chat room and giant chart. But
right.
it's pretty fun to me. It's definitely extremely difficult because most of the people trading nowadays aren't really people; they're actually computers
Right.
that trade faster than any person could trade.
Yeah, and that's something we've brought up a couple of times now with the changes in technology have kind of changed the scope of the market.
Yeah, it's definitely now mostly yeah, computers that trade.
Yeah. So let's talk for a minute here about something a little different, maybe a little more light. YouTube going to follow in the steps of Twitch TV, and they're going to start charging, have subscriptions, just like how on those really popular Twitch channels you see, Moon Meander, and all those other big guys, you can subscribe for whatever was it, $5 a month or something, and then you don't have to see ads, and they get like 60% of that money. So it's another way for you to chip in and support the team. YouTube looking like they may do something along the same lines. Like you'll be able to start paying for subscriptions and whatnot. Corky, you going down? Oh man, I was gonna dunk him. Damn it, I'm too slow though.
Dunk master.
Dude, it's, you know when you go from WoW to a third-person game, you're like trying to control it, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude.
W doesn't
I felt
make
like
me
that
move.
was like SimCity.
Yeah.
SimCity's like that, got that weird like double click, rotate the screen and everything.
Yeah. Dude, I just want to give it to this Corky so bad.
I know, he's so aggressive. I'm gonna
Dude.
kill him. Bam.
Oh, there
Down.
we go. I was about to flash and dunk him straight up.
But yeah, YouTube moving to subscription. Yeah, it's one of those things where they're just trying to make more money, and they're definitely experimenting with it. I think the price targets are like $1 or $2, basically for a subscription. Like premium content is my understanding too. It's not just no ads. It's like you get to watch stuff that other people can't see for $2 or $1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's, oh my god, that was weird. Why did Malphite do that?
felt aggressive, man.
This Malphite's dead. Slam dunk the funk, putting it up, everybody slam dunk the funk, put it up.
This Porky, he's so angry.
He was angry. Slam dunk the funk, put it up. So it's pretty exciting. You know, YouTube is slowly getting there. Their live streaming service is not that bad. From what I've heard, it's actually slightly better quality from what some people have told me, a very anecdotal experience. I don't know. I like that on the YouTube one you can scroll back in time though, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
That's why I
feature a
watch
lot.
League of Legends on YouTube.
Yeah,
Because I often just pause it and then come back, because like the LCS is like the VODs are like 12 hours, and in one case one was like 19 hours.
yeah.
And it's like I can't watch it straight that much, and so
Yeah.
I would just like pause it and then come back, or
Yeah.
maybe rewind and do stuff like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I have trouble with that too, where I even watching the LCS VODs on YouTube the day after, when they're kind of separated into chunks, it's like I still don't really care about a lot of the stuff in between. Often, if I'm watching, I just want to see the games. And
Yeah, definitely. When they do the interviews, interviews, I'd rather just watch people slay each other.
Yeah, I've gotten.
It's not that they're bad. It's just like, yeah, I just want to watch the gameplay.
Well, I don't know. The interviews are kind of bad. I don't know. I've sort of lost hope a little bit. All that trying to interview pro gamers, man. I used to really think that was my calling. And so the other day I was watching LCS and I was just listening to how these guys talk. They're just like, oh, yeah, I heard these two guys arguing.
I think I know. I think some of them act like that. There's one guy who acts like that, kind of like, I think he's trolling the people.
Yeah, I can't
pretty sure-
tell if they're just retarded or trolling, but it's just like, I just don't care, man. It's like I watch it and I'm just like, god damn it, I can't believe I took this so seriously for the last like 2 years of my life. Like, this is just, these guys are a joke, man. They're not even trying. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. A lot of them like don't really need to try.
Yeah, they don't have to,
Their
because they're
their
so
performance
fucking
just
popular.
speaks for 'em.
Yeah, it's true. It's exactly true. So I don't know. But moral of the story is, I'm not trying to watch the interviews. I couldn't care less about fucking like what Dyrus is doing. Jesus Christ. I was watching The Office the other day. You know that episode when Michael goes to Sandals with Jan, and there's the picture of her laying down, and they're all looking, and they're just like, oh boy. And then Andy Bernard comes over, and he's just like, boring. Call me if she rolls over. That's what I think of every time I watch like a League of Legends interview. So, like, same exact thing, just like, yeah, call me if they fucking roll over, dude. Come on, dunk him! Dunk him, Darius, you fucking scooter!
Some of the personalities, but it's definitely something where a lot of them could use some PR training. And
that's the sad thing. Riot's giving them PR training. We talked about this a really
long time ago. As far as like PR training and everything, it's like they're just normal. A lot of them are just whatever. They're like the minimum age you have to be to compete in the LCS.
That's true.
And like they haven't really done. They haven't gone through college yet.
All they've done is play video games.
They just play video games. So it's like can't really expect them to be like really good interviewers.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching that Gamer Crib show, all of it. I just had a little mini revelation. So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. There's no point in trying with these people because they're not even beginning to try. It's kind of ridiculous how some of these League players got so popular so fast. So it's like they don't even have to do anything except play League. And it's, man, do you know how much money you make per commercial on like 20K viewers? That shit is just ridiculous. Like, a personal stream of them just fucking around holding 20K viewers is... It's just insanity, man. The money you can bring in from that, from doing next to no effort, is just... my belly is so full of jelly, Josh. That's like living the dream right there. You just sit around just like, I think this talent's pretty good, you know. Yeah, you argue with one of your buddies, everyone's going crazy. Oh my god, Dyrus and whatever the fuck. I can't name any of his teammates or... Oh my god, they're fighting! Ah!
You just know that one guy.
Yeah, I just know that. Well, it's because he's the one that I was imitating.
I think I know you're talking about. I think he does that just to troll them. And that's kind of his natural voice from like what I actually see.
Jesus Christ. How can your natural voice just be, I don't know, man. It's like he's just fucking smoking stogies all day, every day. Maybe he is. I don't fucking know.
He's got those glasses too. It looks like they're sunglasses, but they're like those gamer glasses.
The gunners. Every time, dude, there's a guy at my office that works on a computer, he works at the help desk, and he wears like, they're not actual gunners, but they're the same thing. They're like the yellow glasses that are like filtered so your eyes don't die when you're on the computer. Like, it's so funny. I'm just like, dude, are you like, you're really taking this computer stuff a little too seriously. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Oh no, they're gonna get me!
But yeah, I think that Darius guy, he looks like he's got like sunglasses, great gunner glasses.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're really sporting the gunner thing. Oh, big esports news. Speaking while we're shitting on, I gotta turn a light on in here. It's getting dark.
Where's my hero? Oh shit, I lose track of my hero in this game.
There we go. Yeah, me too. Speaking of big esports news, did you see Idra got released from Team EG?
I did not see this.
Dude, that's big news.
Poor Idra. Is it? I have no clue, honestly, if it's big news or not. He was pretty big when we were watching StarCraft.
Well, I mean, it's big news because Idra has, like, I saw some people making the comparison of, like, when you think Michael Jordan, you instantly just think the Bulls, you know? When you hear Magic Johnson, you just think, yeah, fucking the Lakers, you know? They're almost synonymous for that era. A lot of people would say Idra is the same with EG. He's, like, one of the oldest members of EG. He's, like, been that iconic figure of the team for so long. I don't know. Those kind of comparisons have been thrown around. But the reason he got released is because of a comment he made on Team Liquid. I'll have to pull it up, I think. It's so funny. It's something like, I don't know, he just like was belittling his fans. Let's see. EG and Idra. I'm sure I can find it in about 2 seconds here. I don't know. He tells all of his fans to go fuck themselves or something.
Oh, I don't know how he's been doing. Is he like, he could be like, I don't know how Kobe is now, like, been playing for so long.
Kobe's a fucking
It's just time to retire.
Yeah, well, that could be true. I really don't like Kobe. All right, so here you go. Here's the Idra-ism. So you know how on Team Liquid they have the fan clubs? So this is in the Idra fan club. All right, let's see. He insulted a forum post, or continues posted. He called his fans, quote, a bunch of fucks after one poster jokingly suggested he was crying inside because of a forced facade, I guess implying that Idra's bad boyness is all staged and he's not really a douchebag. It's just like that they need drama for the scene to continue to flourish, so they like, you know, tell him to be a bad boy and let him get away with it. Yeah, exactly. So he stated, let's see, where's the full quote? It's... oh yeah, here you go. Quote from Idra, "Nope, you're all just a bunch of fucks. It just so happens that I get paid to treat you like it. It's fucking awesome." And that was it. Finally, the team said, "All right."
That was the last straw.
That was the last straw. And in the statement, they were like, "Yeah, he's been on thin ice for a little while." You know, I guess EG, since EG is like so rich, you know, most of their players make six-figure salaries. And it's fairly common knowledge that they're by far the biggest StarCraft team, one of the biggest esports teams, by far the most lucrative, I think. But I think they're the most financially successful. They're really trying to get away from that image of that they're just in it for the money, that they're just a money-grubbing organization. They really want to try and cling to whatever's left of that. Yeah, come on, it's just we're doing it for the community, guys. Come on, everything is just for you. That's why we're here. You know, and Control's up there just like, it's all about the community. As long as we're talking on Raid Call, it's all about the community. You know what I'm saying? I do this for the community and also for Raid Call, our title sponsor, but mostly for the community. You know what I'm saying? The community. So they're really trying to stick to that, and Idra's like, no, you guys don't give a fuck about the community. It's all about money. You guys pay me 6 figures to belittle these people. They like it. So, God, I didn't get my dunk off, Josh. Son of a bitch.
So annoying. I want to kill that guy.
I know. So they finally canned him, though. They finally said, all right, enough is enough, Idra. If you're... I guess they tried... We got Ace, really? I guess they tried to coach him into being a nicer guy.
They tried to coach him.
Yeah, they're trying to like show him how to be a nice guy, and it's not working. Idra's not taking kindly to the nice guy stuff. Aww. I don't know. I mean, Idra's getting... He's not old, but he's old for a pro gamer. I think he's getting pretty frustrated with like... Kind of what I was saying about how... I think there comes a point where like esports is really cool, it's amazing, and then once you hit like maybe your mid-20s, your early 30s, you just kind of realize it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude, we're just playing video games. Like, I'm surrounded by all these fucking immature idiots that are just, you know, they're just doing this because they're just having fun, you know. It's just, I don't know. I feel like Idra made that realization a while ago that his job is kind of a joke and he's getting paid an absurd amount of money to just fuck around. So he's been in that kind of apathetic, fuck it, let's see how far we can take this thing. I'm not supporting the team.
I'm not supporting the team.
You know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what it's felt like to me for a long while. For a while, it was kind of cool, and I think he liked it. But I mean, he has not been a top player for a while. I think, especially in Heart of the Swarm, he's spent so much time complaining about how imbalanced the other races are relative to Zerg, and then Scarlet and Stefano come in and just start winning everything as Zerg, and it's just like, so I think it's just you, Idra. Sorry, you know, Idra doesn't take kindly to that. And in the statement, I think they talked about it on State of the Game, too. In Control, it's just like, you know, for a really long time, Greg's been saying how much he hates his fans, how much he hates the game he's been playing, how much he hates everything. You know, there comes a point where it's just like, all right, man, just fucking quit then. All right, we'll make it easy. You're fired. I don't know. I still like Idra, though. I've met him a couple times.
He's like it? I thought you told me you didn't like Idra.
I didn't like Idra, and then I met him, and then I decided I liked him.
And then you decided you like...
I still have not met in Control, hence why I still don't like him.
Because I was originally the person who liked Idra because he played Zerg.
No,
this was a long time ago.
After Machine introduced me to him, I decided I liked Idra.
And then you guys were like, "You like Idra?"
Yeah, well, I was a Huck fan.
That's what you and Omni were like.
Well, that's because we were Huck fans for so long, and Huck is like his rival. Oh, there we go. I fucked that guy up. Oh no, Janna. You know, and Huck and him were kind of rivals for a while. But nah, you know, I like Greg. In my head, I call him Gregors. So that's big esports news, Josh. Yeah, I have to agree with Shadanius here, my man. Can't blame him. StarCraft 2 sucks. It kind of does, man. Like, StarCraft 2 was really cool. I loved it as an esport for about a year, and then it just got boring. I don't know, something about... I'm just like, I'm not excited about roaches anymore. I'm not excited about, oh, look, he's got Hydras. Oh, my God, look at this crazy ingenuity. He's coming from behind. Like, sorry, Day. Your storytelling is what I come for.
Good at it. It's turned into more of a spectator sport.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, I think. I don't even really like watching it as a spectator sport that much. I mean, it's okay, but, I don't know. It was never the same. What was it that... which MLG was it? I think it was MLG Anaheim was, like, the one where I went and just... The opening match was Idra versus MC. And,
oh, yeah.
It might have been Columbus.
Crazy.
Were you there?
That was that was the one I was there with you.
All right. So that was Columbus then. That was one of the most intense esports moments I've ever felt. Like the electric in that room. Every seat was full, and behind all the seats, it was like so big you couldn't even get a picture to like encompass how many people were there. And then like all of the standing room was taken up. It's like a probe dies, and everyone's just like, "Ah, my God, get it!" It's like, oh, that was just the electric, man. That was I never experienced another esports moment as intense as Idra MC opening match in MLG Columbus 2000.
Yeah, that was definitely really cool. But even at that point, like, I stopped kind of playing StarCraft. It's kind of just something we watched and cheered for, and I kind of just watched it because you guys watched it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I was still casting StarCraft at that time, so I mean, I was pretty into it, but I was just I still played a little, but yeah, I like the casting aspect for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think StarCraft definitely. Part of the problem, too, is that Blizzard is the company driving the game, and Blizzard is not really that esports friendly of a company, in my opinion. They thought they were until Riot came and changed the game. The reason the numbers on, you know, League of Legends streams are so much bigger than all the other esports is because Riot has done so much work to cradle that stream and promote it on their client and, you know, really drive the show. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword in some respects, but, I mean, that's why they're... just random League of Legends, well, the top League of Legends personalities just fucking around on their stream holds more viewers than like the biggest StarCraft tournaments because Riot has done such a good job of building up those individual player personalities and brands, and Blizzard just doesn't hold a candle to that. They really don't. Slam dunk the funk, put it up. Oh no! Oh, I did.
We gotta kill that. There he is.
Who's doing all the damage? Is it Draven?
Draven, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, he's the one.
He did all the
everybody.
damage, and he's at full health.
All right, yeah, I wasn't even touching him.
And that Janna's pretty good too.
Boop boop boop. So poor Gregors, man.
Don't even worry about Malphite. Just kill the other guy.
So let's talk about Google Glass, Josh. I saw this article earlier in the week. Also, already places are banning Google Glass. It's barely in closed beta. They've given them to like 100 developers, and already individual restaurants, bars, states as it may be, are banning Google Glass.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Well, the main case I was looking at was the casino. The Caesars Casino was moving to ban it, and it's because it's technically like having a computer.
Yeah,
face.
The casino I can understand. I mean, I'm sure that you could write a little app that like shows you statistics for poker hands or something, so that.
I figured eventually one would come out, but yeah, it would have the potential.
Like, you could probably do something where, based on your cards and the other cards that you see on the table, it could give you like expected value numbers or something. I'm sure that there's some like cheat you could do with that. So the casino I can understand, but the other story I saw, I think it was in Seattle, one specific bar. Banned Google Glass, and it was a publicity stunt. The owner even admitted to it. It was a little bit of a publicity stunt, but I think that the other quote, he was just like, "This is a private place, so we've got some private members, and we want to keep it that way. Keep your fucking Google Glass to yourself, you goddamn tech junkies," you know. And yeah, that was it. So already people are a little weird. It seems a little funny though that people are so weirded out by, oh my god, he's got a camera on his face, but at least you can see that camera. Because they already have, like, nano cameras that are itty-bitty, super tiny that you can use to spy on people that you don't even know that they're there. You know, like button cams and stuff. That shit's existed for a while. There's cameras everywhere. You've been videotaped and not known it at some point in your life if you're in a
you can't hate something if you don't know you're being exist.
Well, I guess that's true, but, I mean, still, it's like, at least this is... You can see it. You know if somebody has potential to videotape you. It's just that technology has already existed for a long time, and people. I guess it just shows ignorance of people that don't know what's going on. That they're all upset about strangers looking at them in the bathroom and stuff. If you want to videotape me taking a dump, I mean, honestly, I don't really care that much. I'm going to be honest. That's not something I'm going to write home about. If I could sue you and get a whole bunch of money because of privacy invasion, then I might do it. But I don't know, man. I'm just not. What are you going to do? Our world is one that's recorded. I mean, look at the Boston bombings. That's a perfect example of how everything is fucking recorded.
Yeah, it's definitely. That was the case where it's public place, and they had so many people taking pictures because it was a finish line.
Right.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Where there's basically cameras everywhere now.
Yeah, you can't.
It's
get
just
away
that
from
this one's is very obvious. Is
Yeah.
the whole point.
Yeah, but so shouldn't that be a good thing? At least now you can see it. You know that someone could be filming you, and you can tell them to turn it off. If you don't know, that's even Nunu. What are you thinking, bruh?
Yeah, people are. That was a little Rambo Nunu.
Oh, screw you, Corkster. I hooked Malphite. I don't know why.
Oh shit! You got to hook the other guy. Hook that Draven. He's like wrecking our entire team.
Yeah, I hooked
and
Malphite
Janet.
and
I feel like
got
Janet
killed.
and them are like friends.
Probably.
Really good. And I can't stop them.
Can't stop him either, man. I suck.
Maybe we should just kill Corky. He's pretty bad. Get out of there, AC.
Is this our Nexus right here?
Nah, that's our barracks.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, holy shit, they're gonna win already. Although it's looking very dark.
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
I don't know what items to get either. I don't know what items are good in this.
I can't carry. We usually need a tank is the big thing.
Oh,
We need one
tank.
person to tank and take damage.
All right, I'll get a Warmogs.
That's too late. You either go tank or go damage. You can't really go hybrid.
I went hybrid. Maybe that's why we lost. Darius dropping the ball. So, but yeah, Google Glass, already a publicity stunt. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Josh, let's talk about Chris Christie. This guy. This guy, he's a tank. Literally, he is a fucking... I saw
He's pretty big.
Chris Christie not that long ago in person. Not, like, up close, but I saw him, like, walk by. And he's a lot bigger than I mean, he is big, dude. It's a problem, all right? If he was on OkCupid, he would have to check it's a fucking problem. Because it is, dog. That shit is fucking ridiculous. All right, Draven, I slam dunked the funk. That's right. I killed him. I got him, dude.
Nice.
Brothers killing each other. So there's Tubby. So he got secret lap band surgery, and it's sort of similar to the gastric bypass. They put a little band on your tummy so you get full faster. You don't have as much room in your stomach. So you can't eat as much food. And he did it like 6 months ago or something, or 3 months ago, something like that.
It just kind of came out now.
Yeah, and he didn't tell anybody. But, you know, I don't have a problem. A lot of people are just like, oh, God, he's secrets. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's his fat, his business. I mean, you know, I don't really care if he made a press statement about it. People are really upset that he kept it a secret. And, of course, now a lot of... Oh, you can't get... There's no Warmogs in this? Or did they change the recipe for Warmogs?
I have no clue, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
That's weird.
Kill him!
So, and of course, the next thing is everyone's saying, well, it's a sure sign he's going to run for president. I'm sure you saw that on The Daily Show. It's like, what other reason would he have? He's in his mid-50s. He has 2 kids. Maybe he just doesn't want to die in the next 10 years from fucking being an obese blob. You know, that makes perfect sense as well. But there's been a lot of talk about, is he going to run for president? What do you think, Josh? Is Chris Christie going to be the next president of the United States? Yo, I just dunked that motherfucker.
Yo, nice.
Although, I think I'm going to get boned.
Teemo's nasty. Oh, shit!
I can't take Teemo, though. I don't have any magic armor.
Yeah, dude, they're going right for me. I can't stop it.
Well, I just stopped one of them. I boxed that Draven out hard.
Nice.
All right, so a lot of people saying he's going to run for president. Is he going to do it? I don't know. I don't care. I
honestly don't know.
I would consider voting for Chris Christie, though. I like that he's at least semi-moderate. He's not one of these crazy conservatives. The famous Chris Christie quote, compromise is not a... Oh, shit, what is the quote? Compromise isn't a bad thing if you hold true to your morals or some bullshit, but I like that. I think that's one of the big problems with our government is that there isn't enough compromise. So
yeah, I would have to see how he changes because, in my opinion, the past Mitt Romney and John McCain, the past 2 Republican nominees or whatever, I thought they had beliefs, but then when they ran for president, they just changed everything.
Yeah. Well,
they just changed who they were basically when they started running for president.
Well, and you run into that issue again with the primaries where they have to fight against each other and they dig up so much dirt on one another that by the time they make it through the primaries and run for president, everyone's already just like, oh, fuck you, man. Look at all this bullshit that you did. I don't like you. And that's one of the things we talked about during the election of how the parties actually are their own worst enemy in a lot of cases because of that. Nunu, what are you doing? Moo Moo. Nunu going poo-poo. What's this Janna doing?
She was trying to ult.
That was a failsy bobalsy. Slam dunk the funk, putting it up, everybody. Slam dunk the funk, yeah.
Holy shit, did we just ace him?
Ooh.
That Janna stopped protecting her teammates. Where's Timo? He's probably in a bush waiting to kill someone.
Yeah, it's gonna be me because I got no health.
Or did Timo go AFK?
Oh, there he is!
He was in a bush! He was in a bush!
Oh, he's dead! He didn't even do any damage! This is our chance, Josh. We're gonna bring it back.
He was totally in like a bush up there.
Just sitting
waiting
there.
for people.
Just waiting. Dude, they're all dead. Can we just win it right here?
Maybe. It's gonna be tough.
It hurts.
I don't think we do enough damage.
Janna's the only one up. Oh god, it hurts. Oh Jesus. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. But generally speaking, I think Chris Christie is a little bit less of a super political fiend like some of these other crazies that we've had in America recently, and he's at least a little more. What's the right word? I don't know if open-minded is really the right word, but yeah, you know what I'm saying here. He's just a little less political and a little more. Let's get some shit done.
Yeah, it's
roll up
like
those
I said,
sleeves.
that's definitely something you have to look at once they actually start running.
Yeah.
Because yeah, my big thing is they just basically changed their entire beliefs to fit the Republican like agenda and everything.
Yeah.
Instead of like staying true, because yeah, I thought like Mitt Romney supported social health care and everything. He passed in his state, and then he like basically just flip flopped, and then I don't know.
He pulled a John Kerry.
And then McCain's pretty reasonable. Like now McCain's in Senate still. He's pretty reasonable on like his positions now. But like when he was running for president, it was a complete different story.
Yeah, he's just a war horse. That's what I don't like about McCain. He's just like obsessed with war and like we need to go in there. We need to save them, America. We gotta do if we're not doing it, no one's gonna. It's just like shut the fuck up, you old war horse. I understand you were a POW for like 10 years, but we don't need to invade every fucking country. He's like, let's go into Libya. Let's go into Syria. Chemical weapons. We gotta get in there. It's like, dude, come on, just pump the brakes. Let's pass some health care, and yeah, you know, Golden Richards. I don't know. That's what I like about McCain, but that's just one of my beefs. So all in all, I guess McCain isn't too bad. Really, the thing that held back McCain, and I think everybody is sort of on the same level now with that, is Sarah Palin as his VP. That was really the big deal breaker, more so than McCain himself.
Yeah, McCain, he was old. He was Sarah
old.
Palin.
And that was the other thing. I'm surprised he lasted this long, because I was worried. It's like, you know, McCain had a pretty rough life. What if he dies during presidency? I feel like there's a fair chance that Sarah Palin could become president, and that's
scary.
That is really scary. That's really.
I would be terrified of that, actually.
So if he wasn't quite so old, it wouldn't have. I mean, look at Joe Biden. You know, I don't really want Joe Biden as president, but
if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick Joe Biden.
Yeah, and I also don't think Obama's going to die in his presidency. McCain, I'm surprised he's still chugging along and hasn't had a stroke or a heart attack. I mean, he was tortured for so long. He's pretty He's like in his 80s, dude. He's old, you know. I'm surprised his health has not deteriorated worse than it already has. So that was one of my big concerns with Mr. McCain. But yeah, I don't know. I actually have the VP debate with Biden and Paul Ryan still on my DVR that I never watched. Maybe I'll watch it today.
Maybe I'll watch it today.
I've always wanted to watch it. Paul Ryan. I don't know. You know who I might vote for, though, at least in the Republican primary, is Ron Paul's son. What's that guy's name? Rand Spear, the accident lawyer? Rand Paul, that's it. Damn it, I shouldn't have hooked Malfoy. That was my bad. Oh no. Is this the end right here?
It could be the end. Unless you can do something. I'm gonna die. I'm just bait right now.
It's over. I shouldn't have done that mouth fight. Well, that was fun. We almost brought it back.
I know. Woo. No, we just didn't have a tank.
Yeah.
You need to have like the right composition to win.
Well. So,
and the Draven was pretty good.
Yep, he sure was. Very exciting, very exciting. I like ARAMs, right? They're a little more fun. Darius was a fun pick, at least.
Yeah.
GG.
How long was that actually?
That was 35 minutes. That was a good length.
That was a long game actually for an
Yeah.
ARAM.
Yeah, but Rand Paul seems okay. He's a little crazy. He's got some crazy stuff, but I don't know. Every time I hear his name, I just think Rand Spear, the accident lawyer. Those fucking commercials, dude.
Oh
Rand
man.
Spear.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what a lot of them like, what their beliefs are and everything.
I don't really know either. He's just all I know about Rand Paul is he filibustered because nobody would tell him that if that drone bill would give Obama the power to kill American citizens on American soil with the drones. And all he wanted was a simple yes or no, and they couldn't tell him. They were like, well, maybe in some situation, if it was a terrorist, we could blow him up. He's just like, yes or no. All right, then I'm going to fucking filibuster you motherfuckers.
That's so stupid.
You don't like the filibustering?
No.
Not
a lot of cases. I think it's really stupid. Actually, no, in all cases, I don't like it.
I think it was good in that case. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it makes a good movie or something, but
no, generally speaking, the filibuster is ridiculous. I wouldn't mind the filibuster if they kept up with it being you had to legit filibuster. Now they basically just say we're going to filibuster you, and then they just sit there and don't, just that they say it and then they don't really filibuster. When Rand Paul did it, he got out there, he talked for like 13 hours straight or something. He went as long as he could. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that use of the filibuster. I mean, I think that's a pretty legitimate question. Could you use the drones to kill American citizens on American soil? That's a pretty legit question. I hope the answer is no. But
they could read it.
The answer might have been yes. Well, that was the whole point. It wasn't in there. The language, he said, all right, so what does this mean? Does that mean yes or no? And they basically, I think they were trying to imply that, yes, you could under certain circumstances. But the point was that nobody wanted to come out and say, yes, we could do that. And that's what he was trying to say to make them say something stupid. I don't know. I was digging on it. Last thing I wanted to talk about here, Josh, because we mentioned this from... I want to give us some credit, especially you, for bringing up this 3D gun printing thing. Because we brought this up like 15 episodes back. And here we are... May 11th, and this 3D gun printing is a pretty fucking big deal.
Yeah, this week they went live with it. They posted the plans on the internet. 100,000 people downloaded them.
The Liberator.
Surprisingly, not all in America. A lot of them were countries where actually some of them had where guns were banned in the UK and some other, basically all around the world.
Right. Yeah, and of course the United States government lobbied or whatever. They did something to have the plans taken down from the official site. It's over now, though. He said 100,000 people downloaded them, and the Pirate Bay has now picked it up. Go Pirate Bay!
Yeah, the Pirate Bay. Yeah, you probably torrent him somewhere.
You can.
They lasted. The prints were on for like 2 days, I think. Basically, the U.S. government wasn't going to shut him down. They basically gave the guy a license so that he could actually make guns, because there was no reason why they shouldn't give him a license. And then they finally stepped in when he finally posted the stuff online and everything. And it took 2 days, and the U.S. basically claimed the information as theirs, essentially.
Yep. It's interesting to read the comments. People are like, well, who gives a shit? It only gets one shot and then it breaks. But the whole point is, as technology increases...
it's just the beginning.
Right. As plastics gets harder, the technology gets more sophisticated, they'll be able to make more durable weapons. And, of course, this defeats the purpose of background checks, defeats the purpose of serial numbers printed on guns, all that kind of stuff, because you can just buy a maker bot for $2,500, download the blueprints, and you've got a weapon that can fire a single shot. It's pretty crazy.
It would definitely be just the beginning of the whole thing, because 3D printing is still developing. Imagine when you can 3D print metal stuff or something harder than just the plastics that they do right now.
Right.
Something more durable and everything.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I saw on one of the torrents, though, it was just like, if you're going to torrent this, do it on a VPN, unless you really want the government knocking on your door asking if you're making weapons. I was just like, yeah, that's probably a little paranoid, but probably kind of true.
Probably kind of true, yeah, definitely.
Probably use a VPN if you're going to be downloading the illegal gun prints. Just saying out there, Same thing if you're downloading questionable porn. It's worth the VPN, man. It's like $20 a year, and then nobody can see what you're doing on the internet. It's pretty amazing. The VPNs are... I haven't bought one yet, but I've been thinking about it. The more I read about like Comcast and all those other the other ISPs trying to step in and stop people from doing illegal stuff on the internet, the more I'm like, I don't really want them complaining that I torrented a movie last night.
Yeah, the internet is getting more and more, I don't know, restrictions kind of being placed on it, but people keep getting by all these stuff they put up. Basically, just hackers hacking away.
Yeah, well, and part of it right now is the way the VPNs work. I think eventually they're gonna have to pass legislation to change the way the VPN, the virtual private network hosts work, because right now the VPN places, I've looked up a whole bunch of different like Q&A stuff that they've done, and the high quality ones, they don't even save the data. The way it's all set up is for it to be anonymous, and they dump everything, so that even if there was some foul play suspected and the government came in and wanted records of what you were doing, they don't even fucking have them. So right now a VPN is really a pretty secure way to do stuff, you know. Even in other countries, hey, you live in Europe and you want to get access to Netflix, buy an American VPN, and woo, you got Netflix. It's cool for that stuff too. Changes your IP. It's like a proxy server on steroids. And you're right. I see someone in chat. It is legal to download the blueprint in America. The whole point is, do you really want the government to know that you downloaded the blueprint? That's the it's not illegal yet. I think that's where kind of that paranoia is.
Yeah, I think they took it down. You can still download it and everything, but yeah.
Josh, they're still talking about Benghazi too.
Oh, they brought it up this week. Oh my God. Yeah, there were two other political things that I'm not sure how much we have time to talk about, but yeah, they were grilling everyone on Benghazi again because, you know, the Republicans. To me, and what a lot of news people think this is now, is basically just a slur campaign against Hillary Clinton so that she can't run in the next presidential
I get a feeling
election.
That might be true. I was just going to say it's not looking good for Hillary Clinton, but I don't really care. I honestly, I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton. I wouldn't vote for her, so fucking...
Yeah, but the big thing is, like, they're just absorbing all this time in Congress, essentially, because Congress is the one that's pushing everything. It's not really the Senate and everything, which Congress isn't really getting done anything to begin with. Now they're not getting done.
Are you trying to say the House of Representatives?
What?
The Senate is part of Congress.
There's Congress and the Senate.
No, it's the House of Representatives and the Senate, and those two houses make up the Congress.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, dude. All right, on that note, we're not plugging Josh's Twitter tonight. Jesus Christ, dude. The Senate and the Congress? What did you think the House of Representatives did? Just a bunch of dudes?
That was just another name for Congress.
No, dude. The Senate is the one where there's 2 per state, and the House is the one that's based on population. And then the 2 of those houses make up the Congress, which is the legislative body.
Okay.
All right, well, we all learned. This is an educational episode. We learned about Congress. We learned about stocks. We learned about guns, YouTube, Google Glass, and we learned a little bit about ARAMs. It's a good episode, Josh.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, make sure you join us again next week, Saturday mornings, around 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll catch you guys next week for episode number 35 of News Report.